So week 2, homework 1, question number 9, kind of summarizing what the question was. The information that was given is that 500 farmers were surveyed. We had that 124 only grew wheat, 112 only grew corn, 95 only grew oats. And then it goes to tell us that a total wheat farmers were 198. Well, in the total wheat farmers, we're going to have overlap. Okay. So that not only are they growing wheat, but they could have other things that they're growing. So that's what that means. We're also told that wheat plus corn, so farmers that grew wheat and corn was a total of 62. And then farmers that grew wheat plus oats was a total of 48. Then we're also given that the total corn growers was 84. And again, it could have overlap in it. So I filled in what we know. I did a Venn diagram. That's the best way to solve this. I fill in what we know. Wheat, corn, oats. And I know that only 124, or I know that 124 grow wheat. There's no intersection. It's only wheat. Only corn would go in this piece of the Venn diagram, and only oats would go into this. No overlap. It's only them. Now, when we talk about total wheat, I'm just putting it on the outside. Now, I know that this whole circle should equal 198. And also with the total corn, I know this whole circle is going to equal 184. That gives me information. So now I know that this overlap here is going to equal 62, and this overlap here is going to equal 48. This whole thing. So this whole thing is going to equal 48, and this whole thing here, this pink one, is going to equal 62. And that's important information. Okay. So now what I do know is I can find either this piece or this piece using this information. Okay. So if I just look at this, I know that this piece right here, this whole pink piece equals 62. And I know that this piece right here equals 124. Well, to find this little piece here, all I have to do is add this and then subtract it from the total. So I'm going to end up with 198 minus 124 minus 62. And that will give us 12. So now that I have this piece, I can find this piece, right? Because I know that this whole green piece equals 48. So now I'm going to start finding the other pieces. So 48 minus 12 is going to give 36. And then I'm going to find, now I can find this piece, right? This piece is going to be 62 minus 36, which is going to equal 26. And now that I have this piece, and this piece, I can find this last piece by taking 184 and subtracting these 3 pieces out of it. So we're going to end up with 10. So it's 184 minus 36 minus 26 minus 112 will equal 10. So now I know all the information in the Venn diagram. And what I want to do is I want to add it all up. And I want to see if it equals 500. And if it doesn't equal 500, whatever's left, that number will go on the outside. So after we add that all up, we end up getting 414. When I subtract it from 500, we get 86. None of them grow. And then from here, you can go in and fill in all the questions. So the first question in the problem says, of the farmers, blank grew at least one of the crops. Well, at least one of the crops means there could be any of them. So that is going to be the total that we found, which was that 414. And then the next question said, of the farmers, blank grew all 3. Well, that would be the intersecting, which would be 36. So once you have the Venn diagram filled out, it's easier to answer the questions. The next question was, of the farmers, blank did not grow any of the three crops. Well, that's the one that's on the outside, which is 86. And then the last question asked, of the farmers, blank grew exactly two of the three crops. Well, exactly two of the three crops does not include all three. So you have to add 12 plus 26 plus 10, and you end up with 48 for exactly three.